Namaste. Welcome back to Mindful Surrender Yoga, or Waking Up in a Busy World with Nancy. And we are going to continue answering questions from the jar. And I'm going to start by pulling out a question at the same time that I press my timer for start. And then I will read the question. How important is romantic love to a yogi? How important is romantic love to a yogi? That's a good question. I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm going to begin to answer. How important is romantic love to a yogi? Wow. I consider myself a yogi. I am definitely not an evolved yogi or an advanced yogi or someone I ever would want you to think of as someone who knows. I am simply someone who is learning. So I share what I learn as a yogi, as I want to be yogi, you might say, awakened yogi. So I share what I'm learning in the process, not only for others, but mostly for myself, so that I can assimilate what I'm learning, and it becomes a part of who I am. Okay. That being said, what do people that consider themselves yogis feel about romantic love? Well, that is a good question, and I read a lot about romantic love. I wrote an article not too long ago, I think it was in 2018, for Enlighten Up with the Aquarian, on romantic love. I think I called it Beyond the Fairy Tale, because I myself have been a romantic type of person most of my life. And when I say romantic, everybody looks at that and socially acceptable means and saying, oh, she's a romantic. Isn't that cute? Isn't that sweet? She believes in love. She believes in the fairy tale of romance. I am no longer a romantic, but I'm a person who believes in love, like more so than I've ever believed in love. I just don't attach the romantic ideation to love anymore. I do not see love as something that we find out there. I don't see love as something we do by giving it to another human being. I don't see love as something we gain from another person. I see love as who we are. So I often talk about that essence that's inside all of us, the essence behind our ideations and our beliefs and our concepts, such as romantic love or other ideals we might have. I often mention who we are beneath that, our thinking, feeling, body, our separate identities, of roles we play. We are, I believe, consciousness, and that's a big word for a lot of people, and they don't like to hear it, don't like to talk to people who use I know I just had an argument with someone today, and I used the term consciousness, and it ended the conversation just like boom, like that. So I still love that person very much, even though we argued. So but that is, I don't know how else to describe it, because it is just a word, right? Consciousness is just another concept used to describe something that is not a concept, that goes beyond concepts. But we need to use a dualistic terminology before we can progress through the doorway to the non-dualistic terminology, and that's the advanced stage of our spiritual awakening. I'm not there yet, so I get to use the concepts. I get to use the words. So when I say we are consciousness, we are at our deepest essence, beneath the ideas we have of who we are, the little me, the ego, the persona, the psyche, beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the roles we play, is the essence of who we are. Some people would refer to that essence, in a sense, as, if you think of it as energy, if it's easier for some people, just think of it as energy, because everything's energy. But what is this energy beyond thinking? What is this energy beyond physicality? And that energy is referred to in yoga, because we're talking about what the yogi thinks about romantic love, as Shakti. And Shakti, if you want to think about romance, the romance between Shakti and Shiva, Shakti is our female energy, Shiva is our male or masculine energy. So we had, when they entwine together, we have awakening, we're fully realized human beings. But most of us, all of us, have the Shakti flow flowing within us. The Shakti flow is just an energy field of love. It's a sense of wellness, a sense of well-being, a sense of goodness. And I know I don't like to use good and bad, but the sense of joy and happiness and compassion. And it's natural state. It's not referring to this in terms of emotions. And I'm not looking at love and describing it as an emotion, though we tend to do that in our conditioned way of thinking. We refer to love as an emotion we feel. But love is a state of who we are. The Shakti energy that's flowing through us is love. It's just wellness and everything wonderful. But most of us have blocked that with our ideations and our defense mechanisms and our samskaras, those impressions we made of the past about what we like and don't like. And we don't feel the full Shakti, the full release of love. With our judgments, we determine who is worthy of our love and who isn't worthy of our love, who we will open our hearts to and who we won't. We also make distinctions about different types of love. This is a romantic love, for example, between two intimate partners, or it is a familial love, or a parental love, or a child's love towards their parents, or a friendly love, when love is simply just love. In the Course of Miracles, they refer to something called the special relationship, which would epitomize what we've considered to be the romantic relationship. The selection and choosing of one person we think will make us feel okay inside, someone that matches us, our soulmate, our person who makes us happy. When I say all those things, I cringe a little inside as a yogi, because I know I've come to the realization through, my sadhana and everything else I've done, and through my own experience with relationships, that there is no one out there that is going to make me happy. There's nothing external out there that's going to make me happy. There's nothing external out there that's going to fulfill me. I am already whole and complete as I am. And if I'm seeking to be fulfilled by another human being, I'm going to be sorely disappointed in the long run. Because I may be putting, and so is the other individual, because I'm putting these great expectations on that person, that other being, that significant other in my romantic relationship, to make me happy, to give me the goosebumps, to make me feel like I'm the most special person on earth, to love me in a way that I can't yet love myself if I'm not evolved. So this person may fulfill that requirement for a certain degree of time. They may make me feel happy, or I may assume that they're making me feel happy because I am open. My heart is open. My Shakti is flowing freely when I am with them. And I may attribute that to them making me happy, when all it is basically is that my Shakti flow is open when I'm with this person. I'm using the condition of being with that person to open my Shakti flow. So I believe then in special relationships, and I believe then in the romantic relationship especially, that another person can come in on their white steed and sweep me off my feet and make me happy and fulfill my life. But again, that person is just a human being like me, right? That person is also seeking to be okay inside and maybe looking to me to help them be okay inside. But this individual will have their own issues, their own past conditioning, their own samskaras. So eventually they may end up doing something or saying something or not doing what I expect them to do, or not saying what I think they should say at a particular time to keep up with this romantic fairy tale. And that's going to lead me to feel extremely disappointed, not only in them, but in the idea of love. Once again, they will break my heart as if they have the power to break my heart. I have, in my mind only, given them the power to open and close my heart so that the Shakti flow can flow. And when they are giving me what I feel they need, according to the romantic fairy tale, then my heart is open and I'm happy. When they do what humans do, as they cope with their own issues, and it directly affects me as me not getting my needs met from this person, then I will close and I will not feel the Shakti flow. It will be diminished and I will feel that yuckiness that comes when we close our hearts and don't allow the Shakti of pure love, which is who we are, not what we feel, to flow through. So a yogi understands that we often, due to our conditioning, misunderstand what love is. We see it as something we give, something we receive. We see it as an action. We see it as a feeling. We don't see it as a state of being, in our most natural state of being. We don't see the free Shakti flow that is hidden behind the veil of our ego and our personality and all its little me's needs, which include the need for another person to fulfill us. So a yogi understands that romantic love is a fairy tale. It is an illusion that we've created in order to cope with our own sense of okayness. And we understand that we, and we alone as the people that we are, as a consciousness that we are as a segment of consciousness that we are opening and closing our own hearts to Shakti flow. So if I don't feel love, it has nothing to do with the other individual. It has to do with me closing my heart. If I feel love, it has nothing to do with the other individual. It's me opening my heart. So the power, control for opening and closing the heart is within all of us. Love is an internal game, not an external game. And romantic love then is a fairy tale. A beautiful one, yes, and exciting, and nothing wrong with it. We just have to understand that it's not going to fulfill us. It is we and our search towards the ultimate, the source of all life, that will actually help us to be fulfilled. Well, that's what I have to say as a yogi about that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.